everyone. Welcome back. Why does my audio sound so quiet to me? I don't know. Hi. All right, my friends. How are we? Sorry, I'm getting some music going here. And I'm trying to get my phone to stop going to sleep. Oh, that does need to get turned off. Oh, that's what happened. I deactivated that, activated that. Eliminate, eliminate, eliminate. Turn that back on. Turn that back on. Yeah, I turned both of those off. But yeah, no, good catch, King. Thank you. All right. Sorry about that. Had to get Spotify figured out all over again. But how are we? We got something kind of different going on today. Tomorrow I kick off basically my 2-week stint of diving with viewers, which I'm really looking forward to. But I sat there and I was like, what's something different I could do for Wednesday? Because the lore lads aren't meeting. Because I think Barely's on a trip. I don't know if it's for work or not. And then I think Tuna's out because his son has youth sports. So we usually don't meet when like the schedules are that like kind of crazy. So what I figured we would do, because we have so many new people in, is we'll do an AMA or an Ask Me Anything. Really, the only rules are you can't break TOS with your question. You can't break stream rules with your question. So no asking me who I voted for, do I believe in God, that kind of stuff. But obviously, ask me the things that you want to know. Can I violate HR rules? I mean, as long as, again, like I said, as long as it's not against my stream rules or against TOS, I guess you can ask. I believe in God every time I bite into a fat ass lasagna. Yes, sir. But yeah, no. So, and of course, if there's a question that really is kind of a no-go for me, I'll say something. Or I'll give you the chance to ask your question in a more appropriate way. But like, turn the light a little bit. But yeah, no. So we're gonna be working on some giveaways. You guys know I do a lot of 3D printing. I love doing 3D printing. 3D printing is fun as hell. As you can see, we actually got one of the printers going right now, and it's printing another senator. So at the end of the day, I think Kai ended up with giving away 26 of like these Super Destroyer models. This one's my personal one from the event that I did. So 26 of these. I think something like 13 of the stratagem balls and 5 autographed Senator revolvers. What you can't really see are those bins down there. Those are all the like giveaway print items based on the bins. So we're gonna be going through those. Hey, Dorothy. I'm in ads. Oh, never mind. What's the next Ty tries gonna be? That's a good question. I'll be honest, I don't know. I've really been thinking about what I can do for Ty tries. But I'm not quite sure yet. All right, let's grab the easiest thing to prepare for the giveaways. Which is going to be the Super Destroyers. I also have been printing, so it's not part of the announcement, but all of the giveaway winners are basically going to get like 3 of these, like basically the war medals. And they're printed in this gold, very shiny filament. So I have a dozen of them right here, prepped all nice. Crazy amount of giveaways too, so everybody's gonna get 3 of those. But as far as Ty tries, I don't know. I'll take ideas for it. If Ty worked with the general public, which I do, I've worked with the public almost my whole life. Ty tries not to strangle folks. Oh, brother. That is a perpetual thing to work on. All right. So, you guys have seen these before. But usually I try to show them off after they've been like cleaned up and stuff. Because 3D prints, they don't just pop off the printer looking beautiful, right? They got little imperfections, and in the case of some models, like these Super Destroyers, to make sure that they print right, they actually print with what's called supports. So you see that like Y-shaped tree looking thing? That's a support tower. And what that does is when it's printing vertical like that, the 2 little channels that the nameplates go in, so like here and here, I want to make sure this edge is as flat as possible. So I use the supports to make sure that the material doesn't like sag. But removing supports is typically pretty easy. Really, you just gotta get up to the point where it connects. Just give it a little press and a tug. And if your printer is calibrated well, it comes off just like that. That's the easy part. Because the other thing that happens is when you have a tall print, you don't want it to get knocked over. So you print what's called a brim, or like a little skirt on the bottom that keeps it from wobbling around. And you can kind of see like this little bit here, that's from the brim. There's like this excess of material on the back here. So all of that has to come off. And there's a handful of ways to do that. Hi, Sean. Thank you, buddy. Lurking while getting to the chores. Very nice, dude. Very nice. So you can use a handful of tools. You can use your fingers and just pull off sections like that. You can use all kinds of things. Like I'll use like a box cutter, little snips. There's this, which is a deburring tool. Has that little face on it. And a little sanding can help get little things that stick to prints from sports too. 100%. That's actually why later on I'll be using it a bit more because of the types of prints. But I got this little, like, yeah, here it is. This really small, like, rasp, basically. So for now, because the edges that are bumped up against the little brim are flat, I can kind of come in, I can score it, and then almost whittle it away. Just follow the curve of the actual ship rear. And that just took away pretty much all of it. That's the thing. If you're someone out there who likes 3D printing or wants to get involved in 3D printing, there's all kinds of ways that you can print. My preferred method is called print in color. So basically, the idea is that it won't require you to paint anything afterwards, because I can't paint for shit. Oh, good, Lila's back online. Oh, yeah, friends, if you guys have the ability to, do me a favor. Go over to our friend Lila Kalkari. Go over to her stream, right? So first of all, she's on day 1 of her subathon, and she's absolutely fucking crushing it. King, can you do a shout out for Lila, please? Yo, J-Dub, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for the streak. Instructional and fun. Yeah. This one's looking pretty good. There we go. That's one destroyer. There's gonna be a bunch. Both of my printers are basically running. Is today her birthday? I can't remember. I feel terrible. I can't remember if today is her birthday, or if today is just.
I can ask you anything? Did
the
you know
start.
that Mike Tyson is against religion? He's known for punching people in the faith.
Oh my god, spooky. Yo, dude, how you doing? Yeah, what I was gonna say is do me a favor, go over and give Lila some love. Earlier today, so she started her streamathon, I think around like 2 o'clock Eastern, and I think she got a cyber attack. She got some ransomware that basically made her have to stop stream for like hours. So if you could do me a favor, go over there, tell her that she's doing amazingly, that you're excited for her, and that Tybrow says hi. Oh yeah, so what we were talking about, the brim. So here's a good example. So you see that, it's terrible with the light, but you see all this like flashing when it's printing. That's what keeps it from just getting tipped over. It adheres to the base or the bed. But what we're gonna do first is we're gonna just get the support tree out of the way. Just like that. I saw her announcement, but wasn't exactly sure what happened. Yeah, I think she got hit with some kind of ransomware or some kind of cyber attack. And I feel terribly. Her new model looks phenomenal. And it was all, from what she told me, that's all Carly. Carly is the one who handled getting it to look that good. And they're like, oh yeah, this is just version 1. And I'm like, that is one of the greatest version 1s I've ever seen. It looks incredible. Yeah, they've been working on it since October. So I got to see it months ago. She was so excited and she wanted to show someone. And we were talking about I was getting her opinion on some stuff on my own stream. And she goes, "Hey, while I have you, can I have you take a look at something but don't tell anyone yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course." So she popped like an early version of the head, like the head tracking of the model, and it looked absolutely phenomenal. Oh, is that all fucked up? Hold on. This might be salvageable. There we go. Yeah, what I'm noticing is on this little winglet tip, some of this got a little dimpled. Like the brim got a little melty, which I'm hoping actually it might be fine. Yeah, that's salvageable. That's fine. What's my dream future print? Oh shit. I got a couple. So at some point way down the line, and it may never happen because I don't know if the character will ever just kind of fade into obscurity. I would love to do the Lich King's armor from like a cosplay. Do the Lich King's stuff World of Warcraft. That, and obviously Jake and I have been talking about putting together some Helldivers. The hard part about Helldivers is like the undersuit. And is it a Daedric helmet for King? Well, King from YouTube. Maybe someday. We'll see. That would be awesome. Yeah. I have the files for it. I just don't have the time nor the space to do. Wow, this one also was a little melty. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist when it comes to this kind of stuff. I'll keep this as a backup. But I don't think I want to send this one out. I don't want to send this one out. Hi, Alea. Speaking of you and Jake, when you guys come into this neck of the woods again, we are going to be there the last few days of August. I think it's August 27th through the 30th, the Thursday through the Sunday. Saturday, we're going to be at Fan Expo Toronto, and then that night we're meeting up with some people. But the other 3 days, I mean, Sunday, I can't remember when we fly home on Sunday, but I know we're looking to try to do Niagara Falls because I think it's not far from that general area. We're still kind of working things out. I told her this 100 times already. Hi, Leaf. All right, so the Super Destroyers are done for now. Kai's project manager just sent me the first batch of names. So we'll be working on the nameplates are the last thing, and the nameplates are simple. They're like this. And they actually look okay. It's like SES, elected representative of Audacity. So these print in no time at all. So each one of these ships takes about 2 hours to print because they're kind of detailed. So that, and I get the shiny finish, and the shiny finish really comes out when you print a little bit slower. So that's the destroyers for now. I think next we're gonna do the stratagem balls, which I got a handful of prepped and ready. Niagara, though, yeah. By the way, you guys need to go follow Leaf. Leaf plays Kerbal Space Program, and it's fucking hysterical. Please go give him a follow. Yeah, so we're hoping to try to catch Niagara Falls. I say catch like it's, you know, untoward, it's going somewhere. We're trying to be able to hopefully get over there. Which Niagara? What do you mean? The Canadian side. We're going to be in Toronto. The good side, obviously. You're not wrong. The only side worth seeing, right? Okay, so the stratagem balls. I don't have a finished one in front of me. So the stratagem balls print in really 3 or 4 pieces. Or sorry, 3 or 4 colors. You have like the silver bits. You have the black outer shell pieces, and these gold flap, like top flaps. There is also like a little translucent blue ring, but those I have to print last because they take a special filament and a special build plate. But yeah, no, we're going to be fleshing out some of the additional plans. Alea and Leaf, actually, I was going to get you two in on a group chat with Jake and I, so we can try to coordinate, because I think...
Which method of execution is better, hanging or guillotine? Guillotine, because it's easier to get ahead.
Okay, that is true. I could see that. I know the French would certainly agree, speaking of Canada. Paul, how you doing, buddy? We're not... So here's the big thing, though, about Toronto. Oh, sorry. We're not renting a car, so anywhere we go, we're trying to kind of keep within like relative walking-ish distance, or like a brief Uber ride or something, you know. Let me put it this way. I've never been out of the country ever. Like, I just got my passport this year. Actually, we're going to start with this one, because this one still has its supports and everything, so this is going to require the most... prep. Don't worry about a car. Transit is good in Toronto and down to Niagara. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, no, like we really don't know what we were getting into because Jake's never been to Toronto. So um yeah. We were gonna drive up to save money, but we ended up getting some pretty great deals on a flight. Um so we decided to fly at kind of the last, I don't want to say last minute. Sorry, I'm moving my chat window over here. Toronto to Niagara is a very reasonably priced train ride away. Excellent. Because that's the thing, right? Like, whenever Jake and I have gone places, usually it's places we can go back to. So we're never usually in a rush to do, like, the touristy stuff. And obviously, we're in there for kind of a limited time. Oh, Ty, since it's Canada Day, should I take a shot of maple syrup? Oh my god, that's right. I forgot it's Canada Day. Yeah, go ahead. Do that. Go challenge a moose to a 1v1 IRL. I don't know. Go like one man, like a whole basket of poutine. There you go. Leaf's beard is in charge. I appreciate that it's Leaf's beard and not Leaf. Yeah, do not challenge a moose to anything. Yeah, no, seriously, you will lose. Fair warning. All right, let's pull some of these shell pieces out. The other thing that can happen too is the plastic gets a little wispy and almost makes these little like hairs. So, easiest way to get rid of those. No Close Wednesday is in full effect. All right, we'll take that to the OnlyFans. How about that? I'll do the first half of this here on Twitch, but if you want to see that part, you got to go to OnlyFans. The only things that can beat a moose is a swarm of ticks. Yeah. There we go. It's one shell piece. What a bop. Haven't heard this in years. See, the extent of my Coheed and Cambria knowledge predominantly comes from Grimbeard Adventures. I remember last year, I think it was last year, that we were at a fire pit with our friend Grim. Not the happiest with that weird imperfection. What the fuck is that? That's weird. I don't know how that happened. Oh, my mom's calling. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry about that, chat. All right, this shell piece. I'm not going to use. There are some imperfections I can work around, but now and again, it just ain't. It ain't. It's not quality. I like quality shit. Oh yeah, so Coheed. My extent of Coheed is entirely from Greenbeard Adventures. Chat, give me 2 seconds. All right, chat. Sorry about that. The memes channel? Hell yeah, brother. It's just slinging back some maple syrup, dude. Fuck yeah. Whoa, Alea, were we not friends on Discord? That's fucking wild. I'm crazy. Crazy that I didn't even fucking ever check to do that. Hey chat, how you doing? Assembly is going well. We were just going through a bunch of the super destroyers. Now we're doing the stratagem ball. But actually, before we do the stratagem ball, Mecca, dude, good to see you. Thank you for the 22-month Prime sub. Oh, hi, Mecca. Never gonna say goodbye and hurt you. Ah. I was gonna say after all these years, right? Yeah. No, I get that. So what I was gonna show y'all is something fresh off the printer. So the print bed, I use what's called Cooltech print beds, so it doesn't require a lot of heat, so it doesn't require a lot of electricity for energy to get it like this. And it's super sticky. Like you can see, that's not just coming off. So this is what it looks like. This is a grip for a Senator. So getting this off the plate is simple. Just give it a good flex. And actually, my support settings are so well tuned. That tower just came right off, nice and clean. And we just peel it off, basically. That's a chunky grip. I can't get my hand all the way around it. And then with the Cooltac plates, because this little brim is stuck on, we're gonna use a little scraper. Try to get under that plastic. And it's ready to go again. All right. All right, next up, the big printer is gonna, well, I say the big printer. The enclosed printer is going to print the bullets for the inside of the, what's it called? Senators. So Full took my 72-year-old mom to Chipotle for the first time. What did she think? And this Senator has 2.5 hours left. Bourbon maple, yeah, that's some good shit. I'm afraid to use a metal scraper on my PEI plates, so I've been using plastic razor blades. Okay, so these are my high temp, my PEI plate. I don't use scrapers on this. Or if I do, I have a plastic razor blade. Those other plates are the bamboo super tack cool plates. You got to use it on those, but they're for the most part self-healing. Like the one that's on this printer right now is that, and those can take a lot of scraping and abuse. I usually replace them once a year to keep them fresh, but you don't have to. Because, you know, Bamboo runs all of their various sales. But anyway, so the way the stratagem balls are built, you have the black outer shell, and you can see all these little nubs on the outside. Those will index with the slots on this, but because it's plastic and it's a printer and yada yada yada, it's never quite as perfect as maybe the designer intended. As I proceed to immediately eat my words because that just snapped into place without fucking with it. Okay. The next one's not going to be that easy. That I could tell you right now. I know that for a fact. It doesn't... That shit don't work out like that for me that much. That good. That doesn't happen. Where's that lighter? Nubbed for your pleasure. No. See, it doesn't have a flared base. Do not be pleasing. That piece looks good. I haven't had maple liquor before. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. Wow. That one also went on way better. What was I doing wrong the first time? Do you ever use a deburring tool for the brim removal? Not frequently. I do have one here. Usually I end up taking like a box cutter, or if it's really, 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 really fine, I'll use an X-Acto knife and just be really careful. Or I take snips, especially if it's along like a completely flat surface. Like there's a little bit of a brim left on this guy here. I'll usually like lift it, see what I can start with my fingers, which that I need to do this on stream more.
So Ty, I am using TTS so you can work I can be a nerd at the same time. I am rewatching Criminal Minds and see Gina Torres as a guest star, and just audibly went, ooh, is that Zoe?
Not only is that Zoe, it's literally Jessica Pearson. Maple whiskey, one of the sickest I ever got on booze. Yo, I don't doubt it, man. I do not doubt it. But yeah, no, apparently I gotta work on my prints and shit on stream because this is making me look like an idiot. Royd, how you doing, buddy? Good to see ya. Let's say my namesake is due to some questionably legendary things IRL. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Let's see if third time's the charm. Okay, this one Brim's being a little troublesome. There we go. No crazy imperfections, a little bit of fuzz. Nice. Now I need to rewatch Suits. Suits is just such a good series. I don't care what anyone says. Suits is one of those series. Did you hear that click? I feel robbed. The original ones they did were not this simple. All right, let's get the little gold opening flaps out. All right, there we go. Maple syrup as a meat ingredient. I feel like using mead as maple syrup as a meat ingredient really has to be done with care because it is not only the sugar, so you gotta really be careful with your yeast production. And the fermenting, right? Full send it then, got it, yeah. All right, so these gold panels snap in. Like so. I was going to use yellow, but the yellow looked a little too, like, toy-like. So the gold, I thought, looked way better. You know, I'm gonna be honest. This whole stream is a lot chiller than I expected. I have expected people to be asking really like Loophole degenerate questions. That's a nice gold. The one I used for Christmas was way more matte than that. It was kind of icky. Okay. I have to show you then. So Polymaker's Panchroma series, the Silk Gold. That's what I use. I almost exclusively use Polymaker. I use bamboo filament for like some things. But Polymaker, far and away one of the best filaments you'll ever get. You're paying a few dollars more for the spool, but it's worth it. It is so worth it. Why do men have nipples? Well, if I had to create an answer, it's because at one point we were supposed to be as beautiful and as wonderful as biologically female individuals. And then they said, nah, make the ovaries hang in a little sack underneath. You're all set. Oh, and the nipples don't do anything. There you go. The creation of man according to Tybrow. I got the regular gold from them, not the silk. It has to be silk. Like this silver, this is their like silk silver as well. And Polymaker does filament refills. So they fit on like the bamboo spools and reusable spools and everything. So like I got a black, I usually have like 4 boxes of black refills whenever. Oh yeah, so the yellow that I had was this yellow. This was actually my prototype of the Senator display stand that I presented to Commissar Kai and wanted to get his opinion on it. This was the first real good proof of concept. And I made it so that you can see the heel of the gun can actually fit. It's a little hard to see. You can see that the heel of the gun, of the grip, fits right in here. And then the barrel rests in this slot up here. But this was also made to just come apart using like dovetails and hold together with friction. This little circle in the middle was also made to be interchangeable. So on the back, I designed these 2 little holes that you could put like a pen or something through, flip it over, and pull this disc out and swap it out. And then this piece also dovetails apart. So the whole stand is relatively compact. So, and then Kai loved it, but he ended up coming back with a couple small changes that ended up becoming the final design. And I'm super proud of the final design. Plus, the other nice thing, you can't even tell, unless you're looking, that there's any seams in the plastic either. So it kind of looks like one whole big piece. That was the point. Let me pull that chat window back. Biologically speaking, we all start as female. We're differentiated by our chromosomes in your body, so and adjust during gestation. Nipples don't just go away. Also, fun fact, males can technically lactate in some instances. Yes, they can. It's when Danny DeVito enters a room. Jesus. All right, hit me with another weird one. So there you go. So aside from the little blue thing that goes in, you have this bottom cap. And this post just slots in. twists on the bottom. And there's a little blue ring that'll sit in there, and there is your stratagem ball. An elephant's penis is prehensile. I will take things I didn't need to know for 500, Alex. Y'all are something else.
Prehensile.
Jake is just giggling in the background at prehensile penis. And prehensile. Nice balls, Ty. Oh, thank you. There we go. That's the other thing too. A deburring tool is an awesome thing, but like it can definitely hog away more material than you kind of want it to. That's why I end up using this, because I can get all the way right up on it and just shave little bits away like whittling. Cool. All right, let's see if the printer gods are with me right now, and let's see if this works again. Yeah, that's flush. Shit. Okay. I really need to get back to the armor I've been making, but it was 92 degrees in my garage the last time I went out there, and nope. Yeah, no. Fuck that. Yeah. It's been too hot. It's too damn hot. Ah, do we have a problem piece? Nope. No. Okay. Just took a little bit of massaging into place. This has a little bit of a burr on the edges. Remind me, chat, what armor were you building? Wow. Jesus Christ. That worked out fabulously. Nice. So I'm only really going to have one panel I'm going to have to reprint. That's not bad. But this is also the benefit of printing in color. If you can get a model that's already broken out into pieces, you can save yourself a little bit of time. There we go. Nice. It's a kit bash of Dark Souls 3 armor and some custom pieces for a friend's unpainted D&D mini cosplay. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's sick. I've burned through 10 spools of light gray PETG so far. Yeah. Have you tried that Polymaker's Cost PLA? Apparently it's supposed to be like, it's meant for cosplay. It's like one is a lot more like sandable than the other one or something. Yeah, that's nice. All right, so this last stratagem ball will be sans a panel, I think. Would you pet my G? You know, I'm more of a T guy myself. Nothing wrong with G. If you got some G's, did I mar that up? Oh no, okay. Nice. And a little bit of fuzz. Cool. I have not, but next time I might. It being, quote, unpainted, I'm not doing much sanding other than for fit. Oh, yeah. Jesus Christ. Why did the first ones that I printed of this just struggle with the shell, the outer shell pieces coming into the panels? Oh, fucking A. Yeah, that just fucking popped right on. Actually, you won't even see that. That's awesome. Okay. That just kind of blends in. So actually, I can use that panel. Here's the thing. Something, and this is true in everything. Sometimes, when you think you've made a mistake, now and again, depending on what you're working on, sometimes you got to wait to the end to find out if it's actually a like mistake or if things just still worked out regardless. sometimes this kind of stuff is precisely that. I will get that hydrate in just a second. Any Bionicle fans, by the way, in chat? Anybody remember Bionicles? What? I'm smiling at you. No, it's because I saw you. Bro, I used to fucks with Bionicles heavy. Dude, same. Yeah. I'm mad at myself because like I look at the like what Bionicles that I used to have cost now, and I'm like, dude, I could be like, I wouldn't be in debt. Like, there would be no debt. No debt. I would basically be living in a small mansion. And I would have filled it with Lego. Like, I had the OG like Takanuva with the Mask of Light when that came out. So he had like the Rockshi like motorcycle thing. Amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I never got to get Makuta, and I really wanted Makuta. I did have from one of my favorite eras of Bionicle, which was Voya Nui, and the Mask of Life, which was the Paraka and the Toa Ignika. When the All-American Rejects thing was a thing. The Paraka were awesome. Loved the Paraka. Loved the Toa Ignika. I thought they were so unique. But they had one of like I think they called it a Titan set, and that was Vizon and Fenrak. I had Vizon and Fenrak. And that was one of my favorite Bionicle sets I ever had. I had a couple of the original Toa. I had a bunch of the Bohrok and some of the Bohrok Hall. I had, I think, 4 out of the 6 Rockshi. I had all of the Toa Nuva. I had some of the Toa Metru. I had maybe 1 or 2 Vaki. I didn't have any Vizorak. I did have some of the Toa Hordikas. And then I had a couple of the Toa Fantoka from the very, like, one of the last phases of OG Bionicle. Well, I say OG, but, like, Bionicle that there was. I thought the Fantoka were a really cool generation of Bionicle. All right. Stratagem balls are as done as they can be. Now, we move on. But would you actually sell them is the question. Probably. There are some collectors out there that pay crazy money for some of this stuff. Oh, that's really cool. Okay. I'm going to put that over there. So, the big ticket item from Commissar Kai's... Oh, did I get that hydrate? No, thank you, King. Ah. So the big thing were the senators. So all of the little lessons that we talked about up to this point kind of lead us to this point here. Because the senator is a big freaking gun. Damn, that's a hot desk mat. Thank you. This was a gift from the team at Extra Life over in Boston for some of my fundraising efforts. I'm really appreciative. I actually forgot. I also have a rug. I got a rug from them that eventually, when I have my own office for like streaming and stuff, I want to put that rug in there. Boston. So here, if you could believe it, is the main frame of the Senator pistol. But it's printed like this. And these little trees, they're called tree supports. They're good for organic shapes and stuff because they can support all these big like overhangs. But to get rid of them is usually pretty simple. But to get rid of them without leaving behind support structures can be a little challenging. So we're gonna grab these. Because some of these I can just kind of press right at where they're connected and they just come right off. And it's a clean support. There's no, gunk or material left behind. But then sometimes you have trees like this. So this whole thing here up into here is all connected. So I'm going to press there and I can see that support has broken away. I'm going to come in with these and break off that section. So now we'll press here. Let's see if we can get a little... it's not going to go, is it? Nah, it's not going to go. I'm actually going to... And that came off nice and clean. Look at that. The tree generation software must be dope to see. It is really interesting, especially when you look at it from like a print, like priority preview, or like a print time lapse. Sorry, because you can kind of predict based on what you're using what kind of supports you need, and you tell this. It's called a slicer in 3D printing because essentially, yeah, that's not bad. What the computer is doing. So let's take this glue bottle, right? So this solid object, what the computer has to do, or what the software has to do, is it has to look at this object and say, layer by layer, what do we got to do? How does the nozzle need to move? Jake's on the couch, so I can kind of show you guys what this Senator kind of looks like as it's printing. So that nozzle is going layer by layer and just laying down plastic. But because of it laying it down in like layers, what it does is the software will go in and break it into layers. That's why when you look at a 3D print item,
Sorry.
what?
I was laughing at you because I heard stuff fall down and I was like,
Oh.
sound like a diaper.
When you look at something that's 3D printed, if you look up close, you can see little like grooves because it's laying it down layer by layer. Now, when you look at something like if you look at something on the inside that's printed, it looks pretty neat. It's super sci-fi. It's really kind of cool. But for this, these two side trees are going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, so I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to separate them from this little brim on the bottom. There we go. Okay, we're gonna press, and that actually separated. Oh, that actually separated really nicely. Haha. There you go. And I can just put it. I could put it right back. It's so fascinating. Yeah, that's actually quite nice. Okay. And we'll break off these last couple and just came right off. So now you have the revolver frame of the Senator. You would take your grip and just index it really nice like that. And again, this is a beefy thing. So we're going to tuck that away real quick. And here's the barrel segment. Also, seriously, this thing is huge. The barrel segment is way easier. Actually, I think that's just, yeah. That just popped right off. And get this little one here and here. The only time things get a little weird, so there's a cavity here, and you can kind of see that, like, that circle. Right there. That's a overhang that is supported, so I'll go in with these little snips. Just stab down in, grab the edge. And popped out the supports that were there. Another beautiful support. There you go. And especially with how it's printed, you would never know this was just 3D printed. This is also not a real gun. It sucks that I even have to say that. But here we are. You will not nines, but you will get rickrolled. Actually, if you guys want to know something fucking wild, look up this band. It's called The Pretty Reckless. The singer is Taylor Momsen. Taylor Momsen is the actress who played Cindy Lou Who in the live-action Jim Carrey The Grinch Stole Christmas. All right, here we go. Another tree support mess. I will say, though, too, if you take up 3D printing, there's only really one thing you got to know about it. Oh, man, that is so satisfying. Sorry. Completely unrelated. Just that support just beautifully just right off. Right off. Ah, beautiful. I feel like I'm like the crocodile hunter right now. Like, oh, she's gorgeous. Yeah, so the downside about 3D printing, if you're somebody who is environmentally kind of savvy, 3D prints are not inherently very environmentally great. I don't know how else to really say that. So the nice thing is that PLA, which is an acronym for the most common type of plastic you will print with, these are all printed in PLA, stands for polylactic acid, and it's derived from corn. So you would think that it's recyclable. It's not. You can't toss these in your recycling bin. And actually, because companies are trying to make their cardboard spools stronger, they're not using just straight up cardboard anymore. They're using, because you have all these like material systems that need heavier duty spools so they don't deform and feed improperly or anything like that. So it's not as sustainable as you'd think, or especially as much as I would like. There is a company out in, I think it's Colorado. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but you can ship them your PLA and PETG poops, scraps, failed prints, whatever, and they will upcycle it into either furniture or new spools of filament, like recycled filament. I think it's because when this melts, it gets all gummy. It doesn't melt like normal plastic or something. Actually, a really fun fact is the green Sprite bottles are PETG, and you'll see people who go through like one of those green bottles. They'll use like a homemade tool to basically spin it and cut the whole bottle into like ribbons, and they'll extrude it as filament, and they'll use that as like a green or like a muted green filament. It's wild. But the other part of the Senator are all these little pieces. So the easiest one that I usually start with is a little flashlight thing on the bottom.
Sleep patterns are fascinating. There's light sleep, where your heart rate slows. There's deep sleep, where you can't be easily awakened, and REM, where you lose your religion.
I can't even with that one. What do you call
a
a
rabbit in an ambulance?
what? I felt that face palm in my bones.
A hair-emetic.
A hair-emetic. Shut up. Great. All right. Let's grab that and that. I always have to remind myself which end of the senator this looks like. Pull up the all right, Jack, give me 2 seconds.
Did you know you can see the blood vessels in your legs? You just have to look varicose.
King, I didn't miss it. I saw it on my way out. Where do you guys find these? Hello? Hi, Shadows. Welcome in, friends. For those of you who may not know me yet, hello. I don't usually stream like this, but hi, I'm Ty, these are my brows, and I play games. Tonight, we are actually building some 3D printed items from the Helldivers charity event that were giveaways on Commissar Kai's stream. Now, if you work with 3D print anything, this is the glue I recommend. Also, Shadows, how is Disney Dreamlight Valley? I see people play that, like, on and off, for the most part. What do you think of it? What'd you get up to in it? All right, that's open. And for those of you all coming over in the raid, thank you for being here. Yep, knew that was going to happen. What? Almost. I knew I heard a third thing. Wasn't as bad. All right, let me bring up that picture. I'm trying to figure out, because this isn't perfectly in the middle. Trying to remember if this is to the front or to the rear, which I'm pretty sure it's to the front. Yeah. So yeah, so this meter repel, I don't know how it's actually pronounced. Is this called CA glue, or I think it's like cyanoacrylate. This chemically fuses the plastic to other things, and it has a two-part system. You can go one part, but I do the two. So there's a glue and then an activator spray, which just speeds it up. Now the thing is with the activator spray, if you use it, it causes an immediate curing reaction in the glue on whatever you put it on, and it turns white. So it's really particular that if you're going to do that, you don't get white or glue on something on this that you don't want to show up white in the end. I adore it. It's a very chill but also kind of grindy game at times. Farming, resource gathering, friend making. I'm a Disney kid, so I love it so much. Hell yeah, Shadows. See, here's the thing. Love what you love. Seriously, like, whatever brings you that joy, embrace it. So you can see, nice thin layer. I don't need a lot. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this right on here. Set it in. I'm going to turn it. I'm going to get that nice and spread around. And it actually just may start curing and grabbing on its own. Which it just did. Cool. Yeah. I'm going to come around the back. Repeat that process. I just got gifted the last of the DLCs I need, so I've been doing a lot of story stuff the past couple days. Hell yeah, Shadows. What are the DLCs? I know it's like an open world Disney, like an Animal Crossing, I think. All right, so this I'm gonna hit with the spray. There we go. So it smells terrible. It smells like cancer, but it's effective because now that's not going anywhere. Can that be picked up on camera? Yeah, okay. So this isn't such a big deal because this is largely covered by the revolver itself. But you can see right there in the back, that white right there. If that gets on there, or like the spray cures it that way, there's no getting that out. You could Sharpie over it a little bit, but I don't have a Sharpie that matches this color. It smells like what? Ass? Yeah, it does. I try not to use it. The glue is not a problem. It's the activator spray plus the reaction that's a little pungent. Uh-huh. I try not to be. All right, and then so here's the barrel. This will just go up underneath. And we have all the pieces of the barrel readily available because it also comes with this little front ring, which if I was selling this as just like a prop, I'd print this in orange because it's an imitation. But where this is purely a display piece, I'm printing it that way. And then up top, actually, while I have this out, that's a little too narrow. Okay. The Australian shipping thing? Yes, there is a way to do it. Basically, I will essentially mark this as a toy. And I can get away with it. I'll hold that. That's a good way to put it. There's a lot of free updates that add characters, mechanics, and stuff. The order the DLCs came out means nothing, but I ended up picking them up in the order they did come out. Area added with DLC, a desert, a jungle, and an ancient city added Rapunzel, Jafar, and Gaston. Second one added a very lovely false storybook area, Olympus and Alice in Wonderland swamp-like area, adding Merida, Hades, Flynn Rider, and Maleficent. The third DLC that came out added Snow White with a very lovely horse ranch, Tigger, and Cruella. Ooh. But do they got my man's Jack Skellington? I think they do. I'm pretty sure Halloween Town was like a thing, right? Ooh, that's a lot. Oops. It's okay. It was a Halloween update with Jack and Sally. Hell yeah. And we got this front sight, which sits. It's crazy because you get this top rail, and you would think it goes right to the edge, but it doesn't. It sits a little ways back. Yeah, it sits a little back. Shadows, how long have you been playing that game, by the way? I feel like I've definitely seen you stream it before, right? Cool. Shadows, if you're still out there, what is a question? You know what? And I'll pitch this to everybody. Pitch me a question you've wanted to ask me, but always got nervous to ask. Ooh, woo! Hi, Shiograth. Why do I even try calling you that? Hi, Uncle. How you doing, brother? I have one. What's your beard routine for care? It's terrible. It is terrible. I don't have one. I need one, but usually my beard isn't this long. I'm actually going to get a haircut and shave tomorrow because we got a wedding this weekend that we got to go to. But a while ago, when I used to go into the office all the time, I usually will literally run like one of those, like the curling brushes through it to pull out all the snags, and then sometimes I'll pass a beard brush over it. But I don't usually keep it long. I usually keep it kind of short, so it doesn't need too much. Also, do the stuff you and Commissar Kai have for merch ship to New Zealand? I know that my stuff does. My merch store is hosted with a different company. I don't know if Kai's does, but it's worth looking. Usually, most of the merch stores, they'll have like a restricted countries list. But I don't think New Zealand has any real issue. How did you and Jake meet? The short answer is we met through mutual friends. We fell out of touch, and then we reconnected down the line, and realized we had feelings for each other. Real quick, back to Uncle's question. I do have some stuff from Viking Revolution and some other smaller companies that I have available, like oils and balms. I don't know Kai's Twitch yet on my system. Actually, could we get a shout out for Commissar Kai? That's really nice. Yeah, the long answer, if you care to know, basically, Jake and I were both dating people at the time. When we met, we were introduced from mutual friends. We met at a buddy of ours was having a birthday get together at the Museum of Science in Boston, which if you guys ever get to go to Boston, try to get out to the Museum of Science. It's really cool. Actually, at one point in time, the Naboo N1 starfighter that ended up being used, I think, or put in the Skywalker Museum or whatever it's called now, the Lucas Museum. It used to be at the Museum of Science on loan from Lucasfilm. But anyway, so we hit it off as friends. We were both seeing people at the time, and we both had some mutual interests. We were both working. We both kind of worked similar careers at the time. So we were friendly. And that was around the time he was like, I don't really have many friends that play like Destiny. Do you want to play the game together? And I'm like, I can't really swing it. And he goes, actually, it's on sale. I could, do you mind if I get it for you? I'm like, yeah, no, not a problem. Not at all. So we played a lot of Destiny. And then I was dating somebody at the time who was atrocious for me. And in the spirit of an AMA, I'll be honest, very abusive partner. I was not here for it. I did not enjoy that, obviously, after a while. And when I broke things off with that partner, she trashed me to a bunch of our friend groups. And unfortunately, the friend group that I had met Jake through was one of the friend groups that believed or bought her shit that she was saying. A lot of people did. She was really good at playing the victim, but she was not. And fast forward a few years, Jake and I reconnected, and we were wicked friendly. And like, I was thinking back and I'm like, I really admire this person. Like, I had all kinds of respect for Jake. As my friend, I looked up to him, because he had and has a very good head on his shoulders. And I found out that at the time I was single, and Jake was also recently single. So I shot my shot, and I asked Jake out to a breakfast date. And because I thought he hated me, like this other friend group. Nothing of the sort. He asked, I was like, hey, ask me any questions you want. And so we talked for like 2 hours of just question and answer, just going through it all. I gotta go, still sorting out hospital forms of work stuff after being discharged because kidneys. Oh, Jesus, uncle. I hope you're doing okay, buddy. Sort out what you gotta. We're here for you. I'll be live again tomorrow. Don't worry about it, brother. Take care of yourself. Please. Yeah, of course, buddy. Much love. All right, this is nice and cured. So we can start moving on to the frame. But yeah, so Jake and I started dating. And funny enough, within the first month of dating, my lease was basically up where I was living. And we were both, we both have had our fair share of relationships, and we had agreed. We were like, all right, what do you want out of your life? Because we were at a point where we're like, look, I'm not gonna get into another relationship if it's not gonna be right. So let's be straightforward with each other. What do we want out of life? What do we want to do? Like, don't waste my time. So we talked about it, and we were forthcoming with each other as to what we wanted in our lives, and it lined up. And so we decided to give it a shot. And a month in ish, my lease was up, and I was looking at having to move, and Jake was like, well, I don't know if you'd be interested in moving in with me, because I used to be north of Boston. Then I moved south of Boston. And like, it was probably the like wildest thing I'd done in my life up to that point, but Jake, it just felt worth it in my heart. And so I moved in with him, and 5 to 6 or 7 months later, COVID happened and the world shut down, and we were around each other 24/7. So that was a really big test of our relationship, and we did great. I think if I had still lived by myself when COVID happened, I would have been a disaster. So I'm really happy that I found Jake when I did. Yo, Nines, thank you for the 5 gifted subs to Bask, Eric, Hrothgar, Kyrob, and Arna. Thank you, buddy. Is that a hype train too? Shit, that's a hype train. Is that sound? Toaster, thank you for the 2,000 bits, dude. That was super kind of you. But yeah, so Jake and I have had a really interesting life together. And to kind of put it in perspective, the first year of us being together, there were so many trials and tribulations in our lives. Like, we started dating May of 2019. And in September of 2019, my maternal grandmother passed away. And she was like another mom to me. You guys always hear me talk about, like, my grandmother told me, no matter how famous you get, no matter how rich you get, you always need to give back to the community. That was that grandmother. So Jake saw me within a few months of being together at my absolute worst, my most sad, my most crushed. And he was the safety, that blanket that I sought during that time. You know, we went through a lot in that first year, and it just, after every little thing that had happened, or little, but after every, like, hurdle, it felt like we got closer. It felt like we were stronger. It felt like nothing I'd ever experienced before, I'll be honest. He was really special. And that's when I was like, I think I need to marry this person. And so during 2020, I think it was August, maybe August of 2020. I have to look back. I started formulating plans to, well, actually in July, I started formulating plans to propose. Actually, I ended up picking out a ring with our friends 10 Rabid Bears and his wife Shannon. They had an apartment literally 5 minutes up the street, and they were part of our COVID bubble because they were far away from all their friends. We were like 2 minutes away, and so we all kind of were a part of our COVID bubble. And I remember sitting in their apartment and showing them the ring, and it actually got sent to their house. I had it sent to their house so it wouldn't arrive on my doorstep. And they held on to it and everything. I told my mom, and before I did anything, you know, of course I asked for Jake's dad's blessing. He gave it. It was a really cool day. Anyway, I went way further into detail on that than you ever asked for. The printer is still printing, but we have the bullets for the senator, and you can see they're all on a brim to keep them together. So for now, they all kind of connect. I have a question. Hit me, King. Hey, Basque, thank you so much for thanking your gifter. Yeah, if you guys got a gift sub, please, please, please thank your gifter. Nines is wicked cool. Hey, Basque, how you doing, buddy? We're doing an AMA, and I'm building Commissar Kai's giveaways. Who's my favorite mod? Well, my only mod right now, I'm pretty sure, is King. So, King. Yeah, Bask, we're building Senator pistols or Senator revolvers. Trying to figure it out. I keep feeling this like vibration on the floor, and I'm trying to figure out if it's someone in the garage or if it's a printer. Something tells me it's a printer. The senators look like heckin' chonkers. Brother, they are. Where's the grip? Here's the grip. Here's the grip for a senator. That is a beefy boy. Is a beefy boy. It's over, I think it's over a foot long. Yeah, the Senator is not a small gun. By any means. Is that a Senator in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? You want to ask me those types of questions? We gotta do the OnlyFans AMA. No, just kidding. I'm happy to see you. So the cylinders are actually kind of fun on these. So obviously this doesn't actually shoot, but these bullets. Do I have a shell casing around here? I don't. Wait. Never mind. I used to have a bag of shell casings from different calibers of bullets. I had a 50 AE. That's because I've shot the Desert Eagle before, but I don't know where I put the bag. But I'll put it this way: for a pistol to shoot this large of a round, like this is like a rifle round. And the bullet itself is like half the length. You can kind of see right there, it starts to taper up into the bullet. But it looks really nice. Por favore, por favore, espresso macchiato por mayor. Looks nice. Por favore, por favore. And it just slides in, and you can still see the tips of the bullets on the side. No, wait, I had something potentially wholesome. Okay, hit me with it. Ciao Bella, I'm Tommaso, addicted to tobacco. Might like me coffee, very importante. What was the most important life event that made you grow the most as a person? Shit, you're hitting me with the big stuff. Okay. Hmm. Oh, is there an ad? All right. So give it a minute. I will definitely answer that for you. Um, I'm actually going to answer it with two answers because I'm somebody I believe we have to always be evolving as people. Is that even making contact? No. Okay. So we're going to do that. We're going to use the activator spray. Nice. Hate the smell of this stuff. Are we back? We back from ad jail? All right, looks like we are. Okay. So, let me break this into I love that the printer is throwing it back in the background, right? It's actually printing another senator. Because I got to do five total. As far as what is the most important life event that made me grow the most as a person, let me give you three. I'll give you a little brief on each. So the first, I'll be honest, I got bullied relentlessly as a kid. I had no friends. I'm not even kidding you. I had no friends. I was that weird kid who loved Star Wars and who was just really nice, and like I didn't like all the stuff everybody else did. Like that was when like Tony Hawk and the X Games were like the thing. I wasn't a sports fan. I think being able to kind of adapt that thick skin as a kid, while no kid should ever have to go through with that, I think that that was something that was really formative. But it also taught me, because I remember I was in middle school and it never stopped. But like, I remember my stepdad actually had told me and said, because I didn't want to go to school, I wanted anything but to go to school. And my stepdad said, "What is that going to do for you?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't have to be with them. I don't have to be around them." And he was like, I can't remember his exact words, but he was basically like, well, he was basically just like, "So you're going to let them win?" And I didn't understand. I'm like, "What do you mean? How are they winning? They want to be without me. Like, I don't want to be around them. I win." He goes, "No. You got to kill them with kindness. People are going to be mean to you your whole life. You're going to encounter people who are just absolute assholes your whole life, basically. Just keep being you and fuck everything else." So that was one, was that car ride into school one day with my stepdad. Another one I was commenting on briefly earlier was breaking up with my very abusive ex. She made me feel like I was hollow. Like there was like, you guys see how like happy and joyful I am. Imagine that just stripped away. And I'm just a husk. She completely hollowed me out. I didn't pick up the guitar. Like she was terrible, and I stayed in that way longer than I should have. But one day I found that inner strength to just say, you know what? I need better than this. I want better than this. And I broke up with her. Now, my life was very hard thereafter. She turned my entire friend group against me with all kinds of bullshit and lies. Some of which, it's crazy. I'll give you one, just to give you an idea as to how kind of stupid some of them were. You guys know how much I love the boys, the cats, and how loving I am with them. She tried to tell our friends, and she tried to tell the police that I abused our cat. And I got questioned and all this other stuff, and I was like, what are you talking about? I love animals. I had a dog at the time, and I grew up with animals my whole life. And you guys see how much I love the boys. They're literally two of my emotes. Like, it's just it's stupid shit, right? Also, hi Vector. How you doing, buddy? I think being able to find that inner strength to put yourself first and acknowledge when reinvention is better than complacency, right? It's hard, right? I'm not going to discount the fact that, you know, breakups, quitting jobs, changing career paths, divorce, whatever. It's hard. It sucks. There's nothing great about it. You know, even though I left an abusive partner, my whole life was just upended. Because we were together for a few years. So, of course, people ask, what happened? Are you okay? Or blah, blah, blah. And the drama and all this other stuff. You and your happiness is priceless. Never, ever, ever allow yourself to be in the company of people who would make yourself feel hollow or like not like you should be whoever you are. And the third one was when I met my now husband, because I finally started to believe in the concept of actually having a soulmate. I didn't believe in soulmates. I thought, I was like, nobody is perfect for another person like that. It doesn't happen. That's fairy tale. And then I met my husband, and we had been through a lot, even in the first year of being together. Like, we weren't even together for a full year, and we were living together at that point when COVID happened and the world shut down, and then suddenly we're around each other 24/7. He unlocked in me a whole person that I didn't know existed in there. And that taught me that the impact of one person can change so much. It's also, it kind of goes back to the whole reason of why I always kind of say that I tell you all I appreciate you and that you're valid. Because what I would have given to be told that many years ago when I was with my abusive ex. All right, the other bullets are done. Let me scrape this off. But yeah, those are 3 moments in my life. I could get into all kinds of little niche, you know, life journeys and lessons, but that I think answers the question. And thank you for asking like legit questions, you guys. Like, seriously, keep hitting me with those, because, and also that's also part of the reason why Bask, like, I'm here doing this, well, not this particularly, but streaming. I want to grow huge. I want to get to the point where I can impact as many people as possible. Like, I love that our friend Lila is doing so damn good, because she is such a beautiful soul and just deserves all the kindness in the world. I love seeing people like that get elevated. And that's why I desperately am pushing and working to make this streaming thing bigger than it is. I want to raise more money for the kids at Boston Children's. I want to do a lot. I want to impact the world positively. That's really what it comes down to. I did see another question. Where is it? I feel like Nines asked something. What is my favorite 3D print? That's what was asked. That's a really good question. I've had a few. Like last November when we did Extra Life, I really liked these Helldiver busts. This one the ears broke off of, but this one, like, these were fun. These were really fun to do. But I also 3D printed a whole pit droid from Star Wars, and it's literally in the bedroom. Not for that reason. I missed a question. What was the question? I saw, what's your favorite 3D print? But long and short, I got a lot of favorite 3D prints. Actually, this is one of my first 3D prints I ever did, which, if you played Sea of Thieves, you recognize this knife. This is the dagger from Sea of Thieves. It was my first time printing in multiple, like, colors. Actually, this is the same color as the Senator, too. So I keep this around to remind myself of, like, the Sea of Thieves days, but also just, it's one of the first prints I did. Few messages up. Oh, if you can meet any person of influence, either past or present, who would it be? Bonus points. It cannot be James Hetfield. Okay, so it can't be James Hetfield. And why? Okay. Damn, that's a good one. Also, ask questions. Even if you think they're stupid questions or silly questions, or you think I'll think that they're silly, ask them. Please, please, please. Ask whatever you got in your mind. I don't care. No, you may not, King. And if you ask again, I will give you stale ones. I'll give you store brand. Any person of influence, past or present. That's really tough. That's really tough. I think if I had to pick, I think I would go with somebody like I'd go with Ozzy. Yeah. If it couldn't be James Hetfield, it would be Ozzy. I think that or Ozzy or George Lucas. Um I think both of them would be really interesting to just kind of have lunch with and just get to, like, talk to them. Yeah. I think those two. When do you think you'll get the yellow constitution? I don't know. That's a really good question. It's certainly something I can really like. I can start for sure. Well, I say start. It's definitely already got. I think I'm a level. I think I have it at level 12 right now. I want to. I think it's level 12. More of a seeking advice than a question. I don't know if that counts as a question. Yeah, go ahead. If you want advice, ask for advice. That goes for everybody. It's an ask me anything. It doesn't have to be about me. You can ask me what I think about something. It could be if you need advice and you think I might be able to be helpful. Like, sure, ask away. Kevin Conroy or Peter Cullen? Oh, Peter Cullen. That's a good one. I can tell you it's a lot of high value asset evacuations. Yeah. Can I have your left kidney? You may not. And it's not that you cannot. It's more that you are not. I am not compatible. Trust me. All right. So the cylinder is in. You can still see the rounds off the side. And it doesn't spin just because the design of the Senator technically shouldn't work. It literally gets caught on the frame. Okay, that isn't terrible. If you want somebody to have a total blast diving with, I will, Nines. I will let you know, buddy. I'm sure that I'll be doing a bunch of like random runs as this event or as my as I dive with viewers over the next couple weeks. And that trigger should be about halfway down. Nice. Okay. All right, we'll let that trigger sit in there like that. And we'll get started on the second frame. Hammer, cylinder, trigger, that. Okay. There we go. All right, let's separate these bullets out. Sorry, that is so satisfying to do. Just like take one of the rounds and just like plunk it in. we go. Okie dokie. Totally random question I just thought of. If your logo's eyebrows were mirrored or flipped, would that bother you? I mean, no. The only reason why I did them the way that I did them is because when I look at somebody and I do the cocked eyebrow thing, it looks like the logo. So like it's my right eye that goes up. So when you're like looking at me, yeah, I think that's how that works. Whatever. Essentially, no, it would not inherently bother me. So, advice for a small streamer that idolizes their friends, but feel inferior to them, and then when they, me tries to stream. Asking advice on how to stop feeling like I'm invisible, but I know I'm not, and I really think I'm just in a mood, and I don't know why I'm even asking for advice. Oh, Shadows, you're fine. No, Nines, it looks like the right side from a camera's perspective, so that's why I went with that. With Shadows. Small streamer. Okay. Let's take that approach, right? So okay, let me be honest with you. I'll be very vulnerable with you all. What is that? Sorry, chat. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm gonna check on something. All right, chat. Sorry about that. All right. So, feeling inferior to friends. I'm gonna be very vulnerable with you all here for a moment. I especially over the last couple of months, have been feeling like I have been battling my imposter syndrome really bad. Because a lot of my friends are excelling. I'm very happy for them. I'm super happy for them. They deserve it. They have built their success. They deserve it. But that little naggy voice in the back of your head, right? It gets loud sometimes, and it's hard to ignore. And it's not nice. It's not nice to any of us, right? It tells you, hey, maybe you're not good enough. Hey, maybe, like, for me, it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe you're just not that good of a content creator if you're still struggling with this. Maybe you should stop streaming. Maybe you should do this. Maybe you should do that. But then I have days where I do very well. And people raid in and they follow and I see them come back. Like, actually, like Just Bask, Nines, all of you guys, like, you guys came across stream, whether it's in a raid or something else at one point in time. I mean, Nines, you found me from the Kai stream and you've stuck around. That means the world to me. Like, I'm trying really, really hard to make this all happen. And because of the timing that I can stream and the dates, my success, my potential is very limited. That's why everybody who comes in here, everybody who follows, I acknowledge. Everybody who starts talking in stream, I acknowledge. The thing is, imagine Ty doing work time streaming. I wish I could. I wish I could, but that is not in the financial cards. I used a little too much glue on that, but that'll be okay. That's hardly making any contact with glue. That's better. There we go. It's really hard to shut that voice out. I'll be honest. But what helps me, I'll be honest, therapy. I am very much a person who believes in therapy. Mental health, having your mental health in order is so important. Because, like, your friends can support you, right? Like, your friends can be there for you. They can help you through tough times. But sometimes, even your best friends, it's hard to, they're not professionals, right? They're biased. Sometimes it helps to have a professional's help because they're relatively unbiased and they are professionals. So, and the great thing is nowadays therapy is more accessible than ever. And that goes for anything, whether it's, you know, an imposter syndrome, anxiety, depression, you know, trauma healing, whatever it is, therapy works. It's helpful. But The other thing too, when it comes to streaming, it's all about how you promote yourself. It's about being interactive. It's about not allowing too much silence. But yeah, that's my advice on that. Oh, where is it? I saw another question. Okay, twofold question. If you could make any meal for me, and if I could make any meal for you, what would it be for both? Oh, okay. My default answer would be I would make you my chicken gnocchi soup, but the dish that I really get proud with is homemade Alfredo sauce, but like a homemade like pasta Alfredo with chicken and broccoli. I'll make that from scratch, no problem. As far as what could be made for me, that's a good question. Give me like your top 3 dishes that you love to cook. I'll tell you which one I would love. Please hold the brock though. Nah, see, I don't do big broccoli florets. I like to take them and like I'll boil them at first and then like chop the top off so that it's all like the little greens so that it's not one big fucking mouthful of broccoli. It meshes in with everything else. Silence is my problem because I can't be super regular streaming. Also, hi Ty. Hi Mac. No, honestly, filling the silence is hard, especially if you're having an off night or whatever, because it's so hard to stay out of your head. I actually got some really good advice recently where it's just like grab something random, even if you're just rambling about something completely unrelated to what's happening. Sometimes people will come into your stream and they'll be like, yo, you were just talking about this. What were you saying about this? And it can create that interaction. Okay, ad's done. Hi. Yeah, no, so what I was saying to kind of wrap up that Shadows was the best thing that you could do, especially if it has to do with your friends, because coming to your friends that you're seeing succeed or that you look up to or whatever, sometimes it's hard because they're biased, right? And nobody wants to be inherently like trauma dumpy or anything. So my best recommendation, I know it's kind of, there's a stigma around it, but I promise, my thing is therapy. Therapy can be so helpful, and this goes for everybody, whether it's anxiety, depression, imposter syndrome, trauma healing, whatever it is. Therapy works. Therapy is important. And finding the right therapist, sometimes you don't get it right on the first shot. That's just part of the process. It's about adapting and learning and understanding what you need out of somebody who is going to listen to you and provide you with steps to heal or steps to process through what you're feeling. Sometimes it's just an honest conversation with friends. But if these are repeated feelings or concerns or fears, therapy is the best way to go about it. That being said, as far as being a small streamer and getting viewers, promoting yourself is huge. And I'm not just saying drop your links and promote yourself Discords. Like, you gotta go out there to Blue Sky. You gotta go out there to Twitter. You gotta go to Reddit or Facebook or wherever and plug yourself. Here's the thing. If you want to get viewers, you have to kind of treat streaming like a part-time job. That's essentially what it is for me, and I'm pushing kind of more in that direction. It's a part-time job. If you want to take it seriously, it's a part-time job. You are the marketer, you're the CEO, you are the agent, you are the finance officer, you are the customer service representative, you're the sales rep, you are everything. So that's what people don't realize at first with streaming is it can be a monumental task to grow. And it takes a lot of being able to put your anxiety or process your anxiety and or just kind of say, hey, you know, I know you're trying to protect me, to the anxiety. Like, I know you're trying to protect me. I need you to go sit over there for a minute though, because I got to just handle this. Because that's what I have a hard time with too, is reaching out to creators that like I admire and being like, hey, do you want to collaborate with me? This, like that, the Helldiver event that just happened, like there were so many of those creators that I look up to. Like in the mornings, I will watch Ms. Tofu. Which if you got actually, King, if we could get a shout out, like the / shout out for Ms. Tofu, it's MST0FU. If you guys are on Eastern Standard or whatever, and you want a good, fun Helldivers morning streamer to watch, actually, let me type it out. There you go. Go follow Ms. Tofu. Ms. Tofu is fucking great. She's a delight. I wish I could stream with her more. And actually, after the event, we were talking, and she was saying, hey, I got wicked bad executive dysfunction. Just tell me when and where. And, like, I'll be there. So, sometimes happy accidents happen. Sometimes you got to put in a little extra work to put yourself out there. It's hard. Streaming is hard. Anybody who says otherwise is something else. They're built different. United Porcupines, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Brow Battalion. I'm happy you're here. How you doing today? I do a cheesy jambalaya with chicken and smoked sausage, a chipotle chicken burrito bowl, and a creamy meatball soup. I'd probably go with the chipotle chicken burrito bowl, as long as there were no beans. I'm not big into beans. United Porcupines, I hope you're having a lovely day. How is your Wednesday treating you, buddy? No bean? Perfect. I love beans, not in my burrito bowl. Perfect. Oh, we're not ready for that yet. Okay. Oh, of course, Shadows. Of course. I know, here's the thing. I know some of these answers aren't always what people may want to hear. Especially when it comes down to, you know, talking about things like therapy or whatever. But sometimes we need to sit there and be able to say, or like challenge ourselves. Like if you're somebody who grew up with parents who always said therapy's a sham, it's a scam, it doesn't work. I feel very badly for those people, because sometimes those are the folks that could really use therapy the most. And it's entirely possible they had a bad experience, but that's one experience. It's not multiple. You know, therapy can be very helpful, especially in the modern day with the medicine and the knowledge that we have now. It's important. It's so important. Especially, I'm gonna give a quick little shout out for my my boys out there, or those who are masculinely identifying, men, statistically and historically, have not always had the best stigmas when it comes to having a positive mental health. You know, men are kind of looked at to always be these strong dudes, you know, impenetrable, emotional, you know, shit. Don't buy that. Toxic masculinity is a problem. And that's what kills me, is because you have all these people who follow all these male alpha influencers and shit. It's so terrible. It's so sad. Like, I thought we were past that. There is nothing cowardly, there's nothing weak, there's nothing shameful about being a man and being emotional. There's nothing shameful about being a man and seeking therapy. There's nothing shameful about being a man and crying when shit is super hard, you know? We always sit there and we villainize men who are in touch with their emotions. It's bullshit, man. It's so bullshit. You get as much from it as you put in. Oh yeah, 100% for therapy. Yeah, that's the thing. You got to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable is not easy, at all. Like, at all. Like, I'll tell you guys. Like, answering some of the questions earlier, especially, you know, it's not easy because, you know, the shit that I talk about with my ex. It took me years to be able to actually talk about that. Now I'll talk about it because I think it's important to share, but it took a long time. And I could not have done that without a positive mental health kind of support system around me. It wouldn't have happened. But as Trevor Hall saying, you can't rush your healing. Fuck yes. No, that's the thing. That's the other important part too with therapy. And I mean, I guess as a general thing, be patient with yourself. You know, every healing journey is not just a straight line of traumatized to healed or healing. It's, you will hit days where you are like, you hit a point where the trauma gets triggered all over again. It could be something super mundane, but it could be something you weren't expecting. You know? And it challenges you. You have to be patient with yourself because you're not going to have good days every day. So, seriously, like, June may be over, but men's mental health is still important. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Oh, also, I'll get into this. June being men's mental health month and Pride Month, they can share the same month and be unique to each other, right? We love our LGBTQIA plus folks, and we wish them a very happy Pride and have a month of celebration of who they are and where they've come from. But we can also take that month and acknowledge that men and maybe more masculinely presenting individuals will have a stigma against them for positive mental health. We have to stand up for each other in this world because the world wants to see you fail. Corporations make money. I mean, look at banks and interest rates. We need banks. Doesn't mean that they're gonna, does not mean that they're just gonna, be all the good guys. Like, there are some good banks out there. And I'm not saying all the banks are terrible and this, that, and the third and, anarchy. Like, don't do that. What I am saying is that there are plenty of people out there who do not give a shit about you. They don't know you. They don't know your story. They don't know where you're coming from or where you're looking to go. Right? Politicians, CEOs, influencers, they don't all have your best intentions or your best they don't have your best path forward in mind. Something Cotton Eye Joe. Yeah. So what we have to do is we go through life, and when life turns around and wants to isolate us from each other and says, hey, stick to your guns, let us tell you what to think, let us tell you how to feel, don't fall for that, right? Find a community of people like you, challenge yourself. We all have preconceived notions. We all have stereotypes that maybe we believe. And maybe we've been taught them for a very long time. But something I believe, going back to that grandmother I told you all about earlier, she was a public school art teacher for basically her whole life. And one thing that she always told me when I was in school and even after was always keep your mind open to learn. There's always going to be something to learn. If you stop learning, that's when you're dead. And I was like, well, but what if you're alive and there's nothing else for you to learn? She goes, it's not possible. And if you as a person, when you're 30s, 40s, whatever, and you decide to say, you know what, fuck it, I know what I know, I'm an expert, I can trust myself, and I don't need to learn anything. There is a death there that happens, and it's this, it's so terrible. Because you could be so much more, but you're choosing ignorance or you're choosing laziness over expanding your mind, challenging yourself and the things that you believe in. Our relationship with things like religion and spirituality. I'll tell you guys, I have a very challenging relationship with religion. I have for a very long time. I don't talk about it because I don't like to talk about things like religion and politics on stream because it's divisive. Nobody likes talking about that stuff. That's why I have rules against it. And I know of people in my community too that they support each other in the community, but maybe they don't always agree with the way different people live their lives, right? But who are we to judge? As long as those people are being happy, they're not being destructive, they're not causing harm to the people around them, who gives a fuck? Live your life how you want and let everybody else live their lives how they want. As long as they're not trying to tell you how you need to live your life, fuck them, be their friend. That's another reason why I love Metallica so much. When I went to go see them, I want to say it was 2017, 2018. It was during that first, I think it was the Trump-Clinton campaign. Metallica took the stage and they were like, we don't care. We want to make one thing clear. Look to the person in front of you. Look to the person behind you, to the left and the right of you. We are all here because we love heavy metal music. And James said, he was like, I don't care who you are. I don't care where you've come from. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care who you go home to or who you sleep with. He's like, none of that matters. We're all part of this metal music family. That's what it's all about. So that's why we don't talk about religion and politics on stream, because that's not what this is all about. Now, there are moments where some things in the world become difficult, if not impossible, to ignore. And you got to talk about them. Like the villainization of trans people. Trans lives matter. And trans people are people. Like, trans rights are human rights. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm not sugarcoating it. You can't change my mind. So, you know, that's kind of my 2 cents. Sorry, I rambled so badly just then. Did I miss any questions? Does anybody have any questions? But that's another reason why I'm trying to just grow the stream and why I really appreciate you guys coming back and being viewers and talking in chat, because this is the kind of thing I feel like more people need to hear. This is the kind of place I want more people to belong in. You know? I know I'm just another white dude on the internet on Twitch doing all the same things that all these other people are doing. And I say that not because it's like a race thing. It's more just there are so many people out there that look just like me who are doing the same thing. I'm not a minority. I'm not special. You know, there's nothing really out there different when you look at me. That's why I work really hard to try to keep you guys in the community and show you why this Brow Battalion, this collective, this little corner of the internet is worth coming back to, you know? I'm curious how you and Jay met, if you don't mind me asking. So I don't mind asking. This is an AMA. Ask whatever you want within reason. I mentioned it earlier, but the short answer is we were seeing different people at the time. We had a mutual friend group. We met at the Boston Museum of Science for a friend of ours' birthday, and we became friends almost instantly. And we were friendly. And then I broke up with my partner at the time, and she soured my friendships with that mutual group. So my husband and I lost touch, and then years down the line, we reconnected. He was single, I was single, so I shot my shot, and here we are, married a few years later. But I will tell you one thing. I'll add on to that with something a little different. Is one of the things that is very special to Jake and I is our love of Destiny and Destiny 2. That's the game. Those are the games that when we were friends and then when we had just started dating, we bonded over big time. So Destiny's situation now is really sad for us. Actually, two songs from Destiny made it into our wedding. So that's special. Oh, there you are. But you share who you are through Twitch, which is beautiful in and of itself. It doesn't need to be different. You are unique. You are different because you are unique. 100%. No, thank you. Seriously, thank you for that. I just want to be able to share this community with the world. I want to make positive change. And it would be really sick if I got to do this full time. It's a long ways off. But, like, I'd love to make Twitch partner. I want to make Propaganda Commander within Helldivers, so I'm gonna really try to start doing that more, doing some more things. Like, I'm posting more YouTube shorts. I got to cut some from the Helldivers event that just happened, but let me see if I can actually show you guys this printer going. You see it go? Sorry for my shakiness. Look at it go. It's actually just finishing up that Senator barrel right now. Okay. There we go. Yeah, no, Destiny has a beautiful soundtrack. Do I have the filament to auto print another one? I'll give my printers a rest overnight tonight. I'll resume the prints tomorrow. What else you guys got? Hit me with whatever. On the topic of prints, what's the longest you've printed continuously? Like one print project? Like what's like the longest like single print? Or like cumulatively? Like project? Full project. Okay. There's two. And I don't know which one actually took longer. I want to say they took about the same time. So I don't know if you're familiar with Star Wars. I have a life-size pit droid that I printed that's fully like articulated. His name is Petey. We love Petey. Petey's great. He stands. He used to stand here in the living room, but the cats kept knocking him over, so he stands in our bedroom. Yeah. That's not my regular phone. This is. Let me try to find a picture. Hold on. Sorry, chat. Oh, tell me it's happening. Y'all, my cousin just proposed to his girlfriend. She said yes. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm gonna have to send them something. Oh, I love that. Okay. So, yeah, so Petey is a life-size pit droid. We love Petey. Fully CU phone. That's fine. Yo, Miss Tofu, how you doing? Yeah, no, I was commenting earlier how my anxiety gets ahead of me so bad when it comes to reaching out to people for collaborations. Are you sure? Yeah, I got nothing on my phone that's that bad or anything. I was mentioning how like my anxiety gets in the way. We were talking about, collaborating as like a smaller streamer and how like my anxiety gets in the way sometimes with like just reaching out to people for collaborations, and just like how the Helldivers event, like I wanted to collaborate with all these people like yourself, and I actually ended up getting to, and just kind of getting the courage to ask for that kind of stuff. That stuff. There you go, chat. There's a senator. Pretty much done. The rear sight is always kind of finicky. No, Tofu, thank you. You were an absolutely lovely soul. I adore you. I don't bite for the most part. Yeah. No, I would love to. I know the time zones are a little funny. But no, I absolutely will reach out because I'd love to actually get some good time in with you. And chat. Oh, you guys, I can actually show y'all how the stand looks. I'll actually show you with the stand. Is that Shady's? I couldn't fucking believe that she won one. That whole thing was rigged. Honestly, it probably could be. So the senator I didn't design. I didn't make these files, but I did make the files for the stand. So the stand, Kai worked with me on what he wanted it to say. So it says P4 Senator Libertas Amors, which is liberty or death. So the stand just kind of slots together. And then Kai's friendly Helldiver logo is going to be in the middle. And it hides the seam. And there's your stand. And putting a senator in it. Obviously, when the barrel is glued down to the frame, will look like that. The stratagem balls also have their own display stands that I designed as well. I will say, you guys, this one though, this one's one of my favorites. A full-size Liberator is fun as hell. So Kai is doing 2 rounds of giveaways. So the first one that he did was obviously really late. I think it was 3 a.m. Eastern. I think he's going to be doing another set of giveaways that's going to be a little bit friendlier to us on the East Coast. But yeah, there's a lot of giveaways. I will say though, Shady winning, completely legit. Do you take commissions outside of this? Yeah, 100% I do. Lila actually has a custom Talon pistol that I did for her. I've also done the Constitution. I actually have all the parts to put together a 3D printed Constitution. I was hoping I didn't win one of the Super Destroyers since I already won one. Yeah. I gotta say, Vector, the Guardian of Destiny is one of my absolute favorite names for all kinds of reasons. Okay, I will hit you up because I really would like something from my highest donor. Yeah, we could figure something out. The other thing that I do too that I really like, I do a charity event every year for my local children's hospital. I do it usually in November. Last November for that, I did giveaways of these Helldiver busts. This one was a one-off that I did for myself. But yeah, I do these little Helldiver busts too. I have the BO1 Tactical and the Hero of the Federation. And actually, Ionic, his guy, what is his name? Elmo. I worked with the Freedom Alliance in Chechen, and I bought a whole spool of gold filament, and I'm printing, once I'm done with the normal senators, which that one actually just finished. Let me scoot this out of the way. I'm printing a senator in all gold filament and sending it to him with a stand. I've also tried to do the CQC saber, but the blade is so thin that it snapped. So I keep this end just as like a posterity thing. But it is comfy. But yeah, Tofu, hit me up. We will 100% work something out. But since these parts are done, the other thing too, everybody who wins a giveaway from Kai is also getting 3 medals. That wasn't advertised. I like to throw those in. Dreadlock Juggalo, what's going on? What a name. Love it, dude. What are you building? What's your favorite color? If you had to listen to only one artist for your creative life, who would it be? Okay, what am I building? If you're a fan of Helldivers, I am building the Senator for our friend Commissar Kai. We just came off of the Heroes 2026 charity fundraising initiative. So I volunteered my 3D printers to print out replica Senator pistols from Helldivers to give away. What's my favorite color? I like a really nice royal blue, like I have this filament I really, really like. Do I have it on my swatches? I do. This really shimmery blue. I love this. Or I like red. Red's good. I like red. And then if I could listen to one artist for or creative for the rest of my life, Metallica. I love Metallica. I'm a huge Metallica fan. I've seen them technically, 4 times? I love Metallica. I play their music constantly on guitar. I own 2 of their signature guitars. I love Metallica. Well, that's dope. Then I'm Dreadlock Juggalo. Is he? I'm a Juggalo Dreadnoughts, and I do artist interviews. So naturally, I like asking questions. Great answers, Ty. Oh, thank you. Yeah, seriously, hit me with other questions. The only thing I don't talk about, because they are divisive topics that I don't like talking about, is religion and politics. So, by and large, you can ask me questions about just about anything about me. That's what we're here for. I want to get to know folks. I think I've seen Alter Bridge 5 times and got to meet them once. Dude, that's sick. I was just talking about, I think it was on stream. I was talking to somebody about did that seriously just take a chunk out of that? Wow, that's a new one. It's not like not junk or anything. It's going to require a little bit of repair, but that's different. That's the thing, chat. With 3D printing, you can do the same thing 7 times, and somewhere in the middle, it'll find some way to fuck itself up on you. Fair. What did you want to be as a kid compared to what you do now as a job or career? Well, I'll give you my progression, right? So when I was a kid, I thought being a firefighter was the coolest damn thing. I wanted to be a firefighter. That was the career for little Tybrow. And then I grew up, and when I was a teenager, I discovered Guitar Hero. And I was introduced to all kinds of these rock stars. And then I was like, let me try playing guitar. And I've been playing guitar since I was 16. I'm 32 now. And I set out and I said, I want to be a rock star, or I want to be an entertainer. And so, where did I put the bin? Oh. I wanted to be an entertainer. So there began me going out to be a rock star. Life had other plans, and I did not become a rock star. But during COVID, I realized that there were people out there who just needed to have a friendly face on their screen. Somebody that could bring them a little bit of, even just a little smile. That's what I wanted to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I want to make people smile. I want to make people happy. And so I committed to wanting to be an entertainer. And then that's when streaming entered my life. And ever since 2020, I've been here streaming, which has been its own journey that has come with challenge, trial, tribulation, but an incredible number of memories and experiences, and just I love streaming. It's what I want to do. But as far as my day job, I work for an AV tech company out in California. I work remote, but I've had all kinds of careers. I've been a restaurant manager. I have been a retail manager. I've been a corporate trainer. Before the job I'm in now, I was the production manager for a high volume auto body repair facility and a licensed appraiser. So like I wrote the estimates, I coordinated everything. I've done a little bit of everything in my life, but yeah. So that was, so it went from firefighter to rock star to basically just world-renowned streamer. That's the hope. It would be cool to make Twitch partner. It would be really, really cool to become a propaganda commander for Helldivers. I know a lot of people are like, well, it's not, you know, it's not that big a thing, or it's not that special, but it's like, I want to fly the flag for the game. Like, I want to show people, like, I love showing people why Helldivers is one of the greatest games out there. And that's why I'm really happy to have met a lot of the creators that I got to over the course of the Heroes 26 event. Which, by the way, chat, I don't know if you guys saw, but all those Helldivers creators over last week, we raised over $250,000, over $270,000 raised for Save the Children. I wanted to be a cop until I turned like 7. Sadly, laid off myself aside from side jobs, and yeah, digital creator. Nice. I actually went out to be a cop too. That's a fun little Tybrow fact not many people know. So I live in Massachusetts, and they have what's called the civil service exam. So you take that, and that's if you want to get into various careers. Law enforcement was one of them. My sister and I both went out for it. But life just kind of happened. I'm adding this event to my IRL resume. Honest to God, Tofu, like, I think I will. I probably will too. Like, I sat there and I'm like, is this something I want to post on my LinkedIn? And I'm like, fuck yeah, it is. We raised a fucking $250,000 in 6 days. I love sharing those types of things because I'm always like, yeah, gamers are just, you know, pale kids in their mom's basements. Nah. I want to see you raise $250,000 on a drop of a dime over 6 days with limited advance notice. Because what? Kai announced it on a Friday. The event began, we'll count Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days, and then the event began. And it blew up. That's like every year I raise money for Extra Life, which is also right down here. And I raise money for Boston Children's Hospital. This is my 10th year of raising money for them. And my current goal is, actually, I forgot I have it on the screen anyway, is $10,000. No, Mac Blast. There was $20,000. There was over $20,000 raised by the time the event actually started that Tuesday. Some of my corporate friends never understood what I did. Others have been super supportive. Heck, even my IRL friends still don't understand what I do. Some of mine don't either. Like, my in-laws have progressively understood because they'll hear that, like I remember a while ago, I got a sponsorship with Magic Spoon. And so I got this box of cereal delivered. And they were like, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh, I got a sponsorship. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I got a sponsorship. Like, I get a little commission off of whatever and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you get paid to do this? And they didn't understand it. But honestly, they have always donated to all of the things that I'm doing. They donate every year to this charity stuff. They donated to last week. Like, I am all for showing that, like, streamers and content creators, like I said, the whole thing is, if you have a platform, here's a little, you know, Tybrow hot take. If you have a platform, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Kick, I don't care. if you know you have fame or you have notoriety or you have a big platform and you can influence people, you can be as fucking stupid rich as you want, but take that platform, take some of that money and give back to the world somehow. And that's why every year I do a charity event, because that's how like I honor my late grandmother. My late grandmother was the one who told me that, like, no matter how big you get, no matter how rich and famous you get, you have to do something good to give back. And I don't have a lot of money personally. So I give my time, and like this stuff, like, is this plastic? Yeah. But how fucking cool is it to sit there and own a piece of a video game, right? This is within my means. I can do this. I give my time to you guys. Like, I used to do 24 hours straight. I can't do that anymore. I'm too old for that shit. That's why Saikari, I think Saikari's younger, but like Saikari doing a 144-hour stream last week blew my fucking mind. Oh, what a machine. Oh my god. Out fucking standing though. I helped build a house for Habitat for Humanity in a high school class. I have that on my resume. Oh, fuck yeah, you should. Listen, do something good out in the world. Whether you donate, if you have the financial ability to donate every month. Also, sorry, I got a little bit of the glue and I need to get this off before it becomes a problem. Yeah. Long story short, do something good with them. Whatever platform and format you got, be a good person and give back. Also, you're working with 3D printers. What printer would you recommend to a noob wanting to get one? I truly just want some dreadlock beads with little Hatchet Man on them. Bamboo Labs. So I'll show you. Also, hi there. So back here, this white one here is my Bamboo Labs A1. It's super beginner friendly and affordable. That is also a Bamboo Lab, but it is a Bamboo Lab P1S. Bamboo is definitely the most affordable option. I'm pretty sure I was hit up with an ad for Bamboo Labs this week. It's almost like I should get one. Listen, it's worth doing. Get the A1 Mini. If you don't know if you're going to like it or not, the A1 Mini, it's got a smaller print bed than this, but it can fit on a desktop. It's so simple to understand. And if any of you out there get into 3D printing or you have legit questions about it, my DMs are open, like, you know, on Discord and shit. Like, seriously. Like, just DM me. I'd love to talk about it. Also, if you're a content creator, they make amazing giveaways. They make really great giveaways. Like we have, like one of the other things Kai's giving away are these little Super Destroyers, these customized Super Destroyers. This is 3 colors, and it takes 3 hours to print all of the things that you need for this one thing. Easy. I would have bought it like a day before tax time. Tofu, when Bamboo comes on, it does one of their huge, because they do huge sales throughout the year. The next time they do, I'll let you know. It's really easy. It's the easiest now than it ever has been to kind of get into. And like I said, it's one of those hobbies. It's 300 Australian right now. That sounds about right, yeah. But is that just for the printer, or is that for the printer and like the multi-filament 4 spool thing. It's worth it though. If it's the whole thing, oh, that's just for the printer. That's perfectly fine. You can start there and see if you like it. Like my 2 printers, all told, with the multi-material systems for both, I think I'm sitting at around like $1,000. The programming isn't hard? No, not at all. Actually, I got a little time. Hold on. Hi. Okay. So let me show you guys what this looks like and how this works. Yeah, it's normal tie view. Although I'm gonna do something because I can't stand how white I look right now. There we go. Much better. Okay. So here's what it looks like. Here's what one of the projects looks like. So these are all the different things for the senator. But let's go to something else. We'll check out the Constitution. All right. So you get the files. Cool. These little squares, these represent the printer bed itself. Literally all that happens, right? Let's say I want to print this thing, which I have right here. So to print this, you just put the object on the square, the print bed. In this case, because it's so tall and it's got a bunch of overhangs, you do supports, which you guys could see. It's all these like tree looking things that hang on to the print. All you got to do, you put it on the plate, you hit slice plate. You can see down here, it's doing all the thinking. It's generating supports. It's figuring out the layers and everything and the coding. And it tells you you're going to need, it's going to take 145 grams of filament. It doesn't have to change filament. It's going to cost you roughly $3.33 to build this piece in material. And it's going to take 4 hours and 17 minutes to print it. And this is also at like a really high definition. But you can see it generated the support here, because if we go back to prepare, whoops, that support isn't there. But when it prints out, it'll come with all these little support things. All I have to do, if I want to make this a real thing, hit print plate and send. That's it. That's all you do. That's it. And like, you know, we could go here on Maker World. So this is Bamboo Labs is like Bamboo Labs is like own like print thing. Look at all the various things you can print. Do you pay for the codes or create them? Some things are free, some things you pay for, some things I've made. Hey Ty, can you do me a random ass favor that's a little odd? Sure. But like, let's say, so like, if you played Starfield, here's some Starfield ammo boxes. Or if you guys have heard of that Mecha Chameleon game, look at this. Right? Let's say, oh, I want to print these guys. This is fun. I want to paint my own little Mecha Chameleon dudes, right? In this particular case, all I have to do is hit download and open. Not now. Later. So here's your little dudes. And this person put all of them on one plate. I don't recommend that, but like you can make a new plate. Let's say you want to do this one here, right? You could just drop him right there and print him. Dreadlock beads? Yeah. Ready? They don't necessarily have like dreadlock beads, but like you could do like large paracord beads. You can also take like, let's say, don't ask me why, but let's just say you wanted to put Oreos in your dreads. You could. You can also just get like, let's say, these beads, right? We'll take this one here, right? So let's say like this you need a little bit wider. Like if you got like thick dreads, you can scale it. So let's say I need this literally double its size. So instead of 100%, we do 200%. And bam, it's bigger. And then you just hit slice plate. It's going to take 35 minutes, almost 36 minutes. It's going to cost me a quarter of materials to use. And I would just have to hit print plate. It would print, and then I got beads. It's that easy. Yep. Can you save me some of the scrap support trees if you're not going to use them? Yeah. I'll give them to you. I'll give them to you when I see you in a few weeks. Yeah, I've 3D printed so much. Like, basically everything on this table is like a 3D print project. But yeah, like, there is just about anything. If you're a Helldivers fan, you can do the automaton tank. Like, this person has designed them like that. If you want the Laz 13 Trident, this person has made a life-size trident that you can print. There's a Talon. Here's Dark Magician. Here's Chameleons. Here's a goose that looks like it was knitted. Like, there's all kinds of stuff you can do with 3D printing. What the fuck is this? Unemployed trophy? What the fuck? I don't understand. I don't understand that, but that's funny. Here you go. Helldivers 2. Multi-material mug. Granted, that mug takes like 26 straight hours of print time. I have not done that. But yeah, 3D printing is awesome. Super worth it. Super practical. Plus, like, look at this. Look at this. These LED tea light holders. Like, that's 3D printed. All you need is like a little electric tea light. How simple. Right? There's a Bastion file too. Yet you went with the Enemy of Democracy's tank. Wait, where was the Bastion? I only saw the automaton tank. The Jackie Chan Adventures talismans, yeah. if you need a 1:6 scale AIM 9L Sidewinder missile replica, you can get that. My favorite, especially for Helldivers things, is Galactic Armory. So here's a good example. So Galactic Armory, they produce these files. They do them for things like Star Wars, and you can do armor. They have all kinds of stuff. They got Halo stuff. Are you on Twitch right now too? I am. I'm mostly on Twitch. Like I have the files. I've printed the Magnum before. But like Helldivers, there's your Constitution. There's the Breaker. There's the Diligence. There's full-size armor. There's the Hellbomb backpack. Like, here's the Senator. This is the Senator that I've literally been printing. Like, you pay $10 and the files are yours. Now some design, my friend does a lot of cosplay, and I think she's an affiliate for Galactic Armory. No shit. Oh, that's so cool. Who's your friend? Same handle? Yes. Tiebrow Games. I'm so bummed. So I say I'm bummed. I'm not actually bummed, sort of. Let me double check her handle, please. So next month, at the end of next month, Jake and I are going to be in Toronto the last weekend of the month for Fan Expo and to meet people like yourselves. If you guys are in Toronto the last weekend of August, we skipped PAX East this year because it's just in Boston. It's like a half-hour drive for us. I was like, oh, there's going to be a Helldivers thing there. Oh, Galactic Armory is going to be there. Oh, that's cool. I'm bummed I'm missing it. And then I didn't realize that it was going to be like a Helldivers event and fucking Craig Lee Thomas was going to be there. I nearly shat myself when I realized that I missed that. But I'm very happy. I'm super excited to go to Toronto. Kazagami. Where do I keep putting my phone? Oh, there it is. Met her at PAX AU when she was a Seif. Oh, that's so sick. Oh, so Tofu, thank you for the Insta follow earlier. I am so sorry. My Insta is so neglected. I need to give it some love. Whoop, whoop, found you here. Oh, hell yeah. Well, welcome in, Dreadlock. I've seen her before. Yo, chat, check this out. Seif Soldier? Hell yeah. Yeah, because that armor right there. I'm pretty sure. I hope they still offer it. Yeah, there it is. The Seif Trooper. Helmet and armor. I love cosplaying. I didn't know you were on there. I figured I'd try my luck. I am somebody, I love making new friends. Like, I have no problem with that. Of course, I love making new friends, and I am fucking terrified of reaching out to people. It's a weird place to exist. Yeah, Jake and I, oh yeah, can't believe he missed out on PAX East. I know, stop. Fucking kills me, man. Yeah, here you go. If you want a life-size Helldivers 2 500 kilogram, kaboom. The files are here for it. Granted, you could also turn it into a pen for your desk. But yeah, no. A life-size hatchet. I'm curious. Look, there you go. Who is this cover by? Leo Morricone. ICP. Yeah, see? It's out there. It's out there, man. You could type just about anything, and if it's out there, you can 3D print it. Now, granted, some print files are better than others, but like, but yeah. Well, it is 11:15. I've done basically all the building that I was hoping to get done. Really actually happy about that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this is a little different. Have you printed a Tybrow logo yet? Yes, I have. Actually, I did some test prints on something. The Brow Battalion logo for keychains. So they're around. Yeah, so those are around. Are you ending? I am. It's the weeknight streams for me. It's always like 7 to 11. Like, I usually am on till around 11 Eastern. But for the next couple weeks, I'm diving with viewers. Glad to meet you, homie. I'll definitely be back. Hell yeah. Well, if you want, hit the follow button here on Twitch so you can get notified when I go live. How often do I stream? I stream 4 days a week. I stream Sundays from actually, that's the other thing. Big Sag, it was a great time. God, Tofu, why are you so nice? Please, anytime you want to come back. I loved having you here. So anytime you want to come back. So I'm live Sundays, and chat, Sundays stream time is going to change. Originally, we were doing 10 to 2, and 10 to 2 was fun. Ten to 2 was fun, but we're going to be doing 12 to 4. 12 to 4 Eastern. And then Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I am right here from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. So if you don't catch me one day, you got plenty of options. But Tofu, one of these days coming up, we'll have to get together. We'll figure something out. And DM me, and we can talk about that gift for your top dono. But seriously, it was really nice to get to talk to you guys, and thank you for the questions. It was really, really special to kind of get to share some more of me with you guys when I'm not like you said, like Tofu said, when not diving in chaos. I'm flying interstate tomorrow, so we'll get back to you next week. Absolutely, not a problem. And I'm pretty much an open book. So if you guys ever have a question, ask. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and raid out to our friend Lila Kalkari, because Lila, Cade, oh my god, Tofu, if you're still out there, this is one of my boys. This is Cade, like Destiny 2. This is Cade. He is my boy. He wants me to go to bed. That's why he's here right now. He's just as needy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's wicked mischievous. He has a brother. His name is Ace. and he is like a tuxedo cat. Oh, he is a ham. But come here, you. Oh my god. Can you chill? I'm breaking shit. Are you done? Okay, you get pets. Well, you can get pets. That's fine. Yeah, no. He's a needy little shit, but I would die for this cat. Sorry. No, we're not going up with the mouse. Jesus Christ. All right, we're going to go raid our friend Lila. Lila is live right now playing a game called Baby Steps, which I have not heard of. And Lila actually is debuting her new like VTuber model today. And if you guys don't know Lila, Lila is a fucking delight. Baby Steps is from the creator of Quap. Oh my god, that fucking game. Yeah, no, she's having a time. I caught her this morning before I slept. Lila's great. She's a very good friend of mine. I'm so happy that she's seeing such immense success. She deserves it. But my friends, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciated all of you making me answer with very real questions. To how you say properly yet too. Well, here you go. But my friends, thank you again so much for being here and for choosing to spend your evening with me. I appreciate the hell out of you for that. I'll be live tomorrow at 7. That's when Diving with Viewers starts for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, as always, remember you are valid. You are appreciated. I think you're a goddamn cutie. And in a world that just wants to make you kind of just bitter and unhappy, do the hardest thing that you will ever do in your whole life and choose kindness over anything else. I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night, friends.